Chapter 6, Air and Water. New to know. Layers of the atmosphere. Composition of air. Properties of air. Water. Air is present all around us. We all need air to breathe. Animals and plants also need air to breathe. The blanket of air that surrounds the earth is called atmosphere. Layers of the atmosphere. The atmosphere has 5 layers: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Troposphere, the lowermost layer of the atmosphere. Troposphere. The troposphere is the lowermost layer of the atmosphere. All the weather changes take place in it. Stratosphere. This layer starts from where the troposphere ends. The ozone layer, which absorbs harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun, is present in this layer. Many aircrafts fly in this layer. Mesosphere. Next to the stratosphere lies the mesosphere. This layer prevents small rocks called meteoroids coming from space from reaching the Earth's surface by burning them. Thermosphere. This layer is called hot layer as it has high temperature. Many space shuttles orbit in this layer. Another layer, known as ionosphere, is a part of thermosphere. Exosphere. It is the outermost layer of the atmosphere. Beyond this layer is a vast space. Wonderbox. A siphon is a bent tube through which we draw liquids from containers. Barometer is a scientific instrument for measuring air pressure. Ionosphere, the layer in the thermosphere where radio signals are transmitted. Atmosphere is very useful to us in the following ways. It provides oxygen for breathing. Without oxygen, there will be no life on Earth. The ozone layer in the atmosphere absorbs the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun and prevents them from reaching us. It helps in maintaining the temperature for the survival of living things on the earth. It also helps in recycling of water through water cycle. Composition of air. Air contains many gases. It contains nitrogen about 78%, oxygen about 21%, and remaining 1% other gases like argon, helium, neon, hydrogen, ozone, and carbon dioxide. Atmosphere also contains water vapor. The amount of water vapor in the air is called humidity. In the rainy season, humidity is high. Coastal areas have high humidity. When the humidity is high, we sweat a lot and feel uncomfortable. Air also contains dust particles and smoke. Add-ons. Nitrogen does not support burning and keeps fire under control. Properties of air. Air occupies space. Air has weight. Air exerts pressure. Anything that has weight exerts pressure. Air also has weight and exerts pressure. This pressure is important for many activities like taking liquid through straw, filling ink in a fountain pen, filling medicine in a syringe, etc. Add-ons. Sound needs medium to travel. Air works as a medium for us to hear different sounds around us. Air is needed for burning. Air consists of oxygen, which supports burning. Water. Like air, water is also very important for sustaining life on Earth. About 70% of the Earth's surface is covered with water. Properties of water. Pure water has no color, taste, or smell. Water can dissolve many things. Water can absorb a lot of heat. Impurities in water. Water has many soluble and insoluble impurities. Soluble impurities can dissolve in water like salt. Insoluble impurities do not dissolve in water. They either float on the surface or settle down at the bottom of the container. Sand and stones are insoluble impurities. Add-ons. Water which forms lather with soap is called soap water. Water which does not form lather is called hard water. Separating soluble impurities. Evaporation. This is very simple method of separating soluble impurities from water. Take water in a vessel and boil it. After some time, the water in the vessel turns into vapor and the impurities are left behind. Distillation. In this process, water is first heated in a distillation flask. The water evaporates and steam enters the condenser. The condenser is kept cooled by the cold water circulating around it. On entering the cool condenser, the hot steam changes into water again. It collects in another flask. This water is very pure. It is called distilled water. Evaporation, the process of turning of liquid into vapor. Distillation, the action of purifying a liquid by a process of heating and cooling. Separating insoluble impurities. Filtration. In this process, we use filter paper. Fold the paper twice to make cone and keep it inside a funnel. A beaker is kept below the funnel and the mixture with insoluble impurities like sand, chalk, etc. is poured into the beaker through the funnel. The impurities are retained in the filter paper and clean water is poured in the beaker. Sedimentation and decantation. Take a glass of water and put some soil into it. Stir it and keep the glass undisturbed for few minutes. You will see that the soil will settle down at the bottom of the glass called sediments. On top of the glass would be clear water. This method is called sedimentation. Take another glass and slowly pour the water from the first glass into it. Be careful not to disturb the sediments at the bottom. The sediments will be left behind in the first glass. This process is called decantation. Purification of water at home. We can purify water at home by boiling it for 10 to 15 minutes and by adding chlorine tablets in water tank. Boiling kills germs present in water. Final learnings. The blanket of air that surrounds the earth is called atmosphere. The atmosphere has 5 layers: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. Air contains many gases like nitrogen 78%, oxygen 21% and remaining 1% other gases like argon, helium, neon, etc. Evaporation and distillation are used to separate soluble impurities in water. Filtration, sedimentation and decantation are used to separate insoluble impurities in water.